E-waste or electronics waste is any obsolete electronic device, ranging from consumer appliances, handheld devices, as well as printing, medical, and industrial equipment. Basically anything that requires electricity to function.
E-waste is fast becoming a global environmental problem. Last year, the world produced 50 million tons of e-waste, and estimates suggest this number will increase by 33% in the next 4 years. E-waste streams in developing countries are expanding at even higher rates, posing serious environmental and public health concerns because these countries lack the proper infrastructure to safely dispose of the e-waste.
In India, for example, 95% of the country's e-waste ends up in the hands of the network of impoverished dealers and recyclers who operate a large informal market outside of government regulations. These workers make their livings using rudimentary techniques like open-air burning and acid baths to extract precious metals like copper, gold, and silver from electronics. At the same time, however, these methods release a variety of heavy metals and toxic flame retardants into the air, water, and soil, negatively affecting the environment.
So the question is, with the obvious negative effects of this informal e-waste market on India's environment and public health, why is the informal market so successful? And why does it continue to support over 80,000 recyclers? The answer is that there exists an imperfect information failure in India's informal e-waste recycling market. Workers in the informal market are unaware of the negative environmental effects of recycling e-waste using open-air burning and acid baths. Informal recyclers are unaware of the negative impacts of their behavior is largely due to India's rampant poverty and poor education system. This phenomenon is summed up nicely by Shakila Mohammed, one of these recyclers, who states, "My skin itches all the time. My head feels heavy with the foul smell I breathe in every day. I do not know if this is safe or unsafe, but no work is too dirty if it feeds my family." Here's how the market failure works. In the healthy market, the informal recyclers will buy and process the socially optimal quantity of e-waste, which marks the intersection between the negatively sloped future marginal benefit curve and the positively sloped supply curve of electronic waste. However, because the recyclers are unaware of the negative health effects of their recycling practices, they overestimate the marginal benefit of purchasing and subsequently recycling e-waste. This means that they buy e-waste at the intersection between their perceived marginal benefit curve, shown in red, and the supply curve. Thus, the informal market produces e-waste at a market quantity, or QM, which is greater than the socially optimal quantity, QO. Unfortunately, India's attempts to reduce the informal e-waste stream have been largely unsuccessful. In 2012, the Indian government released a new set of regulations under e-waste management and handling rules, which hold electronics producers accountable for the ultimate disposal of their goods by requiring them to set up collection centers and take-back systems. However, because of difficulties of enforcement and the systemic corruption in India's government, these rules have done little to reduce the size of the informal e-waste market, which, according to some estimates, still processes some 90% of India's total e-waste stream.
There are, nonetheless, a variety of policies the Indian government could implement to more effectively mitigate their e-waste problem. The government could mitigate the information market failure underlying the success of India's informal e-waste market, instead by incentivizing recyclers in the informal sector to join the formal market.
Here's how it would work. The Indian government will provide subsidies for electronic producers who hire informal workers at their formal, government-regulated recycling plants. By doing this, the Indian government will increase the opportunity cost for recyclers to continue to work in the informal market. Therefore, the marginal benefit of purchasing e-waste to informal recyclers will decrease, resulting in a perceived marginal benefit curve, shown in orange, which is closer to the social marginal benefit curve, in black. Thus, the Indian government will decrease the deadweight loss in efficiency to society because the informal recyclers will now produce at a new market quantity, QM1, that is closer to the socially optimal quantity, QO, therefore mitigating the information market failure.
Thanks for watching.